I recently trained a video AI on images of myself, enabling me to make unlimited short videos of myself doing anything I could possibly think of. So, of course, the first thing I did was what anyone with this newfound power would think of, and that is I made a million videos of myself eating spaghetti. And I was actually quite impressed by the quality of the videos. Most of them had me actually eating spaghetti, and only one of them had me eating spaghetti with chopsticks, which is sort of racist, but actually, my parents do eat spaghetti with chopsticks. And one of them actually had spaghetti with a side of rice, which also seems kind of racist. So after AI passed the spaghetti test with flying colors, I decided to do the next thing that anyone with this power would possibly think of, which I can't show you on YouTube. But I will show you the third thing, which is that I made an 80s sitcom intro with every character being myself. And here it is. Okay, so now that that's out of my system, next I'll talk about some of the technology that I used to generate these videos, and then go over some of the funny outtakes that I noticed while making these clips for this fake TV show that you just watched. The text-to-video model I used is called WAN 2.2, which was released on July 28th. I didn't have any experience with previous versions of this model, but I read that LoRa's that were created for version 2.1 were compatible with 2.2, so I figured I could just train on that and then see how it worked. I used a tool called AI-toolkit, which I'd used previously to make a LoRA of myself for use with the Flux image generation tools about a year ago. I pretty much used the same set of images, but I did edit them a bit to improve the contrast and whatnot. For training, I once again rented a GPU on RunPod, which just about ended up using the remaining dollar I had from my initial credits that I added when I signed up. So it took me a few years to burn through $10 of credits, which is not bad at all. To create the actual videos, I used both my Mac Studio with 64 gigabytes of shared VRAM and RAM, and my PC with an RTX 3060 that has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. The videos were made using the Comfy UI workflow for WAN 2.2 with a modification to load the LoRa on the low noise model. I used the FP16 models on my Mac and the FP8 versions on my PC. The good news is that I can't see much of a difference between the videos made on the Mac and the PC. Aside from the fact that my Mac isn't able to generate videos that are as long or as of high resolution as a PC with the smaller models. If you're interested in more details about how I trained the LoRa or how I set up my two computers to actually generate the videos, let me know in the comments and I can probably make another video that goes more into detail about that. Oh, and if you like this video, be sure and hit that like button and subscribe because I really like making these videos, but it's also really cool to hear when people actually liked watching them too. So while I was making the videos for this project, there were a lot of funny and strange things that happened. So I thought I would just go through some of the outtakes and unused videos since I made a lot of videos for this project. So you can see some of the ones that didn't make it into this project. So there's this 50s one that I made which was in black and white. And so it's supposed to be like kind of like the Dick Van Dyke Show. So I was telling it that I should like avoid an ottoman and then kind of smile at the camera, but he kind of just looks down and then looks back up. This one he just kind of like walks around. And I forgot to say that I was wearing glasses in this one, so I'm not wearing glasses. And then I finally fixed the prompt to actually wear glasses. These are pretty good. But actually you can kind of see like there's a little bit of color spilling in a little bit on his face, I think. Like, yeah, like it just looks a little bit like around the ears, there's some color, which is kind of interesting. Like, I wasn't able to completely make it black and white. So I actually added like a black and white filter in the other project to make sure that it was completely black and white. And one of the things I noticed too is when the person is kind of far away from the camera, the eyes start looking weird. And I noticed this kind of happens in the images that I make too. I think it has something to do with like decoding the latent image or something, and they're just, I don't know, for some reason it's just not very good at making eyes when they're really small. So if you look at the eyes, they're always kind of weird unless it's like a kind of a more close-up shot. This one's like really color and kind of confusing. And this one doesn't really look like a 50s show, like the camera's moving around too much. I think this is the one I ended up using. This is the clip that I used, I think. Or maybe, no, it was this one. This is the one I ended up using. I guess it kind of moves around a lot too for being a 50s show. Oh yeah, so this is, the prompt for this one is supposed to be that I'm in bed and I kind of peek out and then hit the alarm clock and then go back to bed. This one he doesn't actually hit the alarm clock, he just kind of looks. And of course, he's wearing glasses in bed. This is the one I ended up using for the video. I like he kind of just opens his mouth for some reason. I don't know why. And that one doesn't even look like a real alarm clock. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. This one looked pretty good otherwise, though, but that's not really an alarm clock. And he's supposed to go back under the covers, and this one he doesn't go under the covers. And then this one's kind of an interesting camera angle, where he just kind of pops in and then pops back down. But I didn't really like that one. I was trying to do one where I was like spinning the basketball, but this one is too far away, so the eyes look kind of weird. And this one doesn't really look like me. I thought this one was pretty good. He's got a really cocky look on his face, like, yeah. This is pretty good too. It seems like it's in slow motion though. Some of them, for some reason, they end up in slow motion. I think this is the one I ended up using. Because he's kind of like laughing at the camera, which is kind of more what they do in these sitcom intros. Oh yeah, this is the one of me at the beach. I think all of these actually are pretty good. They all represent my physique pretty well when my shirt is off. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much looks like me. Pretty good. I like this one the best though because like it's facing away and then he kind of slowly turns. And like his muscles are so big that he can't actually turn his neck. So he has to like turn his entire body. But this one's pretty good. This one's good too. I feel like they're all pretty accurate. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to do like a Boombox one. This is one of the weird ones where they made me look like an animated character almost. Like the head is way too big, and it looks like it's a cartoon, but then the rest of the background is like real life. So this one's just kind of strange. 7 on a few other ones too. Okay, and this this one's got a lot of action, but I look like one of the Fat Boys, I think. If you remember the Fat Boys from probably the 80s. Uh, why did they make me into a fat boy? Um, and then also the Boombox kind of duplicates itself, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that one's okay, I guess. They always have a weird wave too. They always wave like, I don't know. It's not a manly wave. This one's pretty good, but I feel like with the movement, it's kind of hard to even see. Like the eyes get kind of blurry even with this too. Maybe it's because I used 16 frames per second. I guess I could have used 24, but then all of the clips would be really short. I think this is the one I ended up using. Oh yeah, I made myself a Butler, um, who's like showing off this plate. I think these all ended up being pretty good. I'm not sure if that's like a real Butler uniform. It doesn't seem like the Butler needs that hanging thing. I don't know even what that is. This one's wearing like a napkin as a scarf. Um, and that meal actually looks kind of gross. Just like shells, pasta. I don't know, maybe that's real food. This one looks pretty good. It's got a cool vest. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe this is what butlers. I don't have a butler, so I don't actually know. I've never been a butler, so I don't know what butlers wear, but maybe this is what butlers wear. This one looks like a host of like a Japanese like host club host or something. He's got like this the lace. Not liking that too much. I try to make myself win a prize at a carnival. So he's supposed to like shoot a prize and then get a bear, but it's like it's like happens too fast. Like the bear just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like you win. That was okay. Well, just I don't understand why these ones turned out so weird. I might have to look at the prompt and see, but it just seems like these are really like frantic for some reason. This is one I chose because they made me so fat, and it's just kind of funny to look at. Uh, I think this one kind of had some interesting action too. Like it's kind of slow motion in the beginning. He's got like a good facial expression, and then he catches the bear. I like this one, even though they made me extremely fat. This one's okay too, actually. I feel like I had that bowling shirt at some point in the 2000s. Yeah, these are just kind of, I don't know. There's a lot going on. Oh no. Like trying to make myself a cheerleader. It's just it's fun. But one of the things that these video generators are really bad at is like people doing gymnastics and that kind of thing. So all of these have something weird about them. Like this one, see, I think her head kind of changes position from forward and then it just goes backward, which is kind of weird. Let's see, what does this one do? This one just stumbles and kind of saves it. I think that one actually did okay. No, actually the face, the direction they're facing changed again. Uh, yeah. So I don't think any of these actually turned out like you could say they have a basis in physical reality. Uh, this is the one I ended up using, but um, she sprouts an extra leg. Because these football players back here are really impressed. They're like, whoa. So that's pretty good. Again, some weird physics going on here. Like morphing. And this is, she just like stumbled basically. It's not a trick. Yeah. That one she just kind of like says, no, I don't think I'll try that. But, you know, they all kind of look like me if I was a cheerleader, I guess. Yeah. Oh, the cop ones are really funny. So I tried to make it so that I pull out a gun and then start shooting and then like put it away. But I think I focused too much at first on like the actual holstering the gun. And then the gun changes like while he's shooting it, and then it turns back into like a silver gun, which is weird. Yeah, I was supposed to like blow the smoke, but that didn't really work. That one's pretty cool. But then they like focus on the gun for some reason. I liked this one. this one. This way he shoots the bullet and then the bullet comes out of his mouth. Like he blows the actual bullet out of his mouth. Which is not, I don't think that's how guns work. I don't shoot guns, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. I think this is the one I ended up using because it's funny because he just smiles and then shoots and he's got kind of this crazy look on his face. So this is my favorite because he looks like a psychopath. But actually, I think all of these cop ones of me are kind of psychopaths because they don't really flinch at all when they shoot. So they're just like killing machines. There's no flinching. And then this one takes way too long to shoot. And then, or maybe it's a different one. But that one was okay. But the gun going off looked a little bit weak. It's just like, pew, pew, pew. Oh yeah, this one took too long and he couldn't even actually shoot the gun at the end, like by the time the video ended. This one looks like a real clip from a show, except for some reason he pulls the gun out of his chest. It's like a magic trick. So like, I didn't want to use that one. This one's pretty dramatic. He doesn't want to do it, but he has to. He didn't shoot. This one looks like a 70s show. Like I kind of like some of these videos because the lighting looks so much like a TV show, like an old TV show, because the shadows are so harsh that you can kind of tell that there's like a big studio light like right above him, which is kind of interesting because I guess some of the videos must have been trained on that, but it's just kind of weird that you can kind of see a look like the skin is really glossy. It kind of looks like, I mean, I think daytime soap operas still kind of look like that because they kind of just use cheap lighting. But yeah, this one kind of stands out because it really looks like an old cop show, like from the 70s or maybe the 80s, just because of the way that the lighting is set up. And then this one looks like kind of a more recent one. Like how we paced until the very last frame to shoot. Like it was like, oh yeah, I need to make the gun shoot. I guess I'll just do that at the very end, and then it still sticks to the prompt. Like this is a trick shot because he's looking at one thing and he's shooting at a different thing. Like he's looking one way, but he's shooting the other way. I like this one too, except there's like too many shots. And it just ends up kind of like blowing up the rest of the picture at the end. Like he shot the cameraman. But these ones are actually really fun. These cop ones. I didn't use this in the video, but I was trying to see if I could make it so that I was culling with a Corgi, which I have a Corgi. He doesn't look like this though. But this one is really weird. There's something in the back and I'm not sure what it is. And I didn't say like put this really strange looking thing in the back. I don't know if that's his tail, like supposed to be his tail. But yeah, I don't know what that is. It's just kind of creepy. This is like a creepypasta kind of thing where this video shows up and then like later I see it in my house. But I have no idea. If you have any idea what this might be, then you should write a comment because I have no idea why this strange robotic hair thing is behind me and my Corgi in this video. Yeah, I've gotten some facial hair. That's good. That wasn't in the prompt. And I'm supposed to be feeding the Corgi. I'm supposed to like eat a popcorn and then feed it to my Corgi, but I have really bad aim in all of these. So I'll just like throw it on the dog's head. And the dogs don't actually catch it either. They just kind of like it gets stuck onto them. Oh, here's another. I have like 3 hands in this one, or it's another person's hand. Yeah, I was just like throwing it at the dog, and the dog does not actually care about it. Like throwing it on its head. This dog doesn't care. It just doesn't like popcorn. This one's nice. This is actually a pretty nice one. Like my head goes behind the Corgi. This one's pretty well done. I think this is good. Although, how many paws does this Corgi have? Just one. I have real trouble eating. Yo, yeah, this one, the Corgi's got a broken leg or something. I feel bad for this dog because what happened to this leg over here? But and then there's like a tail back here too. Maybe it's the Corgi's tail, but the Corgi's body is right this way, so I don't know what this is. Maybe it's another Corgi. I like my hair in this one actually. Maybe I should slick my hair back like that and grow it out. Let's see. Oh yeah, Cowboy. I was trying to be a cowboy. I was actually trying to get shot by an arrow. But it didn't actually ever do that. I'm not sure if it was too violent or it just couldn't figure out shooting me with an arrow, but I have some arrows in the video. Yeah, this is another one where it made me a cartoon character, which is kind of weird. Nowhere in the prompt did I say I'm a cartoon character. So sometimes it just kind of does it for some reason. I think this one was the one I used. And I'm like explaining something, I guess. Another cartoon character. And then this one looks like kind of like a half cartoon character because the head is really big. Oh yeah. So I wanted to do one where I was a doctor, and I think the prompt was that I was pulling an organ out of some patient, and then I like reach out to get like a sandwich and bite into it with bloody hands. But this one I didn't really do it. And this is one I ended up using because the way he chews it is really funny. I don't know why, but like it just makes me laugh, like the way he's chewing it right here. Um, it's like really enjoying the sandwich. I don't know why I think that's so funny. And then this one's okay. So like he's kind of like showing his dominance over someone by eating this sandwich, it looks like. It's like I'm a doctor, I can do whatever I want. I like this one actually because because he's using the patient's body as a plate. It is actually really good. I could have used this one too, I guess, but I thought the chew on the other one was good. Like the chew on this one just kind of perfect. So he like nods his head like, this is a good sandwich. This one's good too, though. This one's a little bit too dramatic. But I thought I had an original idea when I was doing this, but then I realized later on that Weird Al did this already in like a surgeon. So I must have just been like thinking too much about AE stuff, and then that kind of subconsciously like went to my mind is that this doctor is eating a sandwich during a surgery. But either way, I think it's still pretty funny. Oh yeah, this one's me as a dog. Because I thought it'd be funny if like, I was supposed to be a dog in a show. But I'm just like wearing a dog costume and eating from a dog bowl. And of course I'm on the ground because dogs don't eat at the table. So like, I think the prompt is like that I'm eating dog food from the bowl with a spoon while wearing a dog costume. I think these turned out pretty good actually. Because they didn't really give many details about the kind of dog costume. And interestingly, I've got a lav mic on here in this one for some reason, which I didn't say I have a lav mic. So that's kind of interesting that me as a dog has to wear a mic. This one's good. There's some weird stuff going on at the sink, though. I don't know what this is. Got a Dalmatian costume. That's pretty good. This one doesn't look like I'm eating actual food from the bowl because the bowl doesn't have anything in it. And I think this is the one I ended up using because I think it's because the kibble like really is in the spoon and actually like eat it. Okay, so I wanted to do ones where I was driving across the San Francisco Bridge because a lot of these old TV sitcoms, they have people driving in cars and it like kind of zooms out. Like they did it in Full House and they did it in another one. I can't remember what it was, but the guy from Ferris Bueller is in it. I'll just put it in the video later. But so I wanted to have myself kind of like driving in a convertible, and that's like a really 80s thing to do too. This one turned out really well, actually. This is one of the earlier ones that I made. But I was pretty impressed by this one. And then, yeah, this is like one of the first ones that's like zooming out, which I thought was pretty good. And some of them are pretty bad though. Like this one doesn't have the right number of lanes. This one I used at the end of the video because I think it's hilarious because not only is he going backwards, but he's about to fall off the bridge, which I did not put in the prompt. But that's apparently that's an okay thing to do. This one he's going backwards and in the wrong lane. It's interesting because these video like the video generators just have a hard time, I think, with like the motion, like which direction it should be in. Which I don't know. It doesn't seem like it should have that much of a problem with figuring out the direction, but it does. This one, some of them just kind of like pan out, which I think is actually what they do in those TV shows. So maybe that's why it does it. But I wanted it to actually like zoom out all the way from seeing the person in the car. This one just kind of fades out, which is kind of, I mean, that's kind of interesting too, but that's just not what I was asking for or what I was kind of envisioning. This is kind of more what I was thinking about, but then it goes like real weird. Like that's weird. Like where did it come up with like this weird moving terrain? I don't know. That doesn't happen, I don't think, in real life. Let's see. Yeah, well, stay in your lane, buddy. Choose a lane. Yeah, this one's a little weird. Yeah, and this one he's going backwards. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, okay. That one had a lot of things going on, actually. But none of them seem like Yeah, a good thing to happen while you're driving across the San Francisco Bridge. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't choose this one. That was not bad. I mean, other than the fact that it doesn't seem like there's anything supporting the bridge. Uh, but yeah, that one's not too bad. This one's a one-lane bridge. Not a good idea. This one's okay. But these guys aren't really following traffic laws very well. Uh, so yeah, I probably could get a better result if I actually spent more time on the prompt and maybe kind of directed it more. But sometimes it's interesting to just see what happens if you don't specify too much. Oh yeah, I was thinking myself an elf and some sort of war against orcs. This one looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's one I ended up using too. Um, I've seen this issue where like everyone in the background looks like me too. That happens a lot. Although I guess these work guys or whatever don't look like me. This one, yeah, I kind of look like a hobbit. This one's got kind of a cool glowing sword. Yeah, this is more hobbit than elf. This one's kind of cool elf. But these are all okay, I guess. This this one I tried to make it so that there's a fire and then I put it out with a fire extinguisher. And I didn't use this for the video either, but um it doesn't seem like the model really understands what a fire extinguisher does. Um like this one looks like it's just spraying water. And then this one looks like it's actually shooting fire out too. It's the opposite of what you want. Yeah, this one worked actually, but it's got some weird text at the very beginning. It almost looks like an IKEA ad or something. I don't even know what that says, but this one's okay, I guess. But it doesn't really show the character either. Uh, yeah. These are all really weak fire extinguishers. And this one, he's just kind of casually going, and then the fire extinguisher shoots fire, but it still manages to put out the fire for some reason. This one's pretty nice and dramatic, actually. I like the way that it comes in from a really extreme zoom. That's kind of cool, actually, but none of these actually look that good in terms of uh, what I was looking for, which is all that fire extinguisher dust everywhere. Because I think they do that in Family Matters. I think it's Family Matters where that's part of the intro. Yeah, this one is just very casual. Oh no, fire. Oh no, my food is on fire and it's not even on a burner. It's on the cutting board for some reason. It caught fire. And there's also a bowl of greens that is on fire. The knife is on fire, just spontaneously combusted. I think for the earlier ones, I think I might have prompted that it was on the gas burner, but then for these later ones, I think I might have left that out. This one, yeah, this guy's excited, but there's a little bit of dust now. But the character is too small to actually recognize. Like the eyes look kind of weird, and it just didn't look that high quality from this distance. So that's why I didn't use any of these. There's always a grandma in these shows, so I thought I would make myself a grandma. And in the prompt, I said that the magazine is supposed to be called Knitting Mania. But some of these only got some of the letters right. But I like how these turned out. That was okay. This is the one I ended up using. And I think there's some of that bleed because this person on the magazine kind of looks like me. Not exactly, but a little bit. I don't think this grandma really looks that much like me as far as grandmas go. That one's fine too. I think, most of the grandmas are pretty good. This one's supposed to be me playing the guitar so hard that it made the guitar amp smoke, but it's making the guitar smoke for most of these. This is the one I ended up using where it actually does like blow up the amp, which is kind of cool. I thought it was good. Although it doesn't really look like an 80s show. Like the camera work is like too dynamic. And this one, like a lot of these, it's already smoking. But I kind of wanted it to be that like I was playing it so hard that it started smoking. But like it's already smoking to begin with, which isn't that interesting. That one's okay. Like the way it happens, I think. But he doesn't seem like he's strumming it that hard either. Yeah, and this one's already smoking. Already smoking. This one, he just seems kind of like he himself is smoking. And these kind of look jarringly like me. Like this one doesn't really look like me. I don't think. I just made one of these where I was lifting weights. I guess I don't really have that many of this. I already had one where I was on the beach totally ripped, so I don't think I need one in the gym totally ripped. Uh, let's see. These are me getting into a car. I was trying to make it so that I would jump into the car like in Dukes of Hazzard, but I think the AI model, I guess it doesn't have Dukes of Hazzard. So so he's just like getting into the car normally, which is not as interesting. So none of these he's jumping through the window. Oh yeah, the karate ones. Karate. These ones look like kind of interesting quality. They just look more like at like a home video from like a meet instead of filmed for a TV show. That's pretty good. Pretty good move. But yeah, these look like they've got like kind of the I don't know what the word would be, overexposed. But they look like they're just taken with a home video camera and someone's just like watching it back. So I didn't think that these were that good. And they're just kind of there's too much motion going on. And then these are ones I made later. And I used one of those LoRa's that make it so that you can use fewer steps. So I used like 6 steps for these ones. But I noticed that it also made the motion a lot less motiony. So these are a little bit more static. Like I don't even know what this one's trying to do. He's like kicking, but then when his right leg turns into his left leg, and he gets surprised by it, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'm done." I like this one. He's kind of just striking a pose. I think this is what I ended up using in the video, but he's kind of showing off. And bonus points because there's a guy behind me that doesn't actually look like me. He's like a white guy back there. I don't know about this move. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna hurt anyone. Oh, this is a pretty good one too, actually. Maybe I ended up using this video instead of. I don't remember if I used this one or the other one. Actually, I probably used this one. This one's pretty good, but it's like slow motion, which is another thing I found with the lightning LoRa or whatever it is. It made things kind of go in more slow motion, and there wasn't as much motion in the actual video. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be me as a kid. I was pretty cute as a kid. I was pretty as cute as this kid. I didn't have glasses though, but I just figured the kid should wear glasses so it's recognizable as me. Um, and eating a lot of finger paint or whatever this is. These all turned out pretty good, and I think these actually kind of look a lot like an '80s show. Like the backgrounds look like an '80s show background, and it looks like it was filmed like for an '80s show. Like the chair, like I could see like Michelle Tanner in there instead of this Asian kid. Maybe not this one as much, but like these backgrounds like look like they're from an '80s show to me, and like the video quality and like the lighting and that kind of thing. Maybe this is like a '90s, but like this looks like '80s to me. But yeah, it's supposed to be a lawyer and like just basically lose it. And I'm like defending myself, except the version I'm defending doesn't have glasses. But I wanted them to get really mad, like just really, really mad. He's like shaking, he's so mad. This one I'm actually the judge, I think. Oh, he slams the table. This one's mad. And there's another me back here. There's another me back here. And there's one who kind of looks like me. I think I ended up using this one because he just looks really angry and he's like, I want that lawyer on my case if I ever had to have a lawyer. This one raises his arms in anger. That one looks a little bit less convincing to me that he's gonna get anything done. Let's see. This is me at the library getting a book. And it's kind of funny how these books change, the spine placement. If you like kind of look more closely, they just kind of reverse and the books do some weird things. Like change color and that one actually was okay, I think. Although I think the location of my hand changed on the book. Right there. And yeah, yeah, this book kind of like magically opens itself. Yeah, and then like the spine. And I like how the book pages just kind of magically turn. Like you don't actually need to move the pages with your hand, they just kind of magically open. I mean, I guess if the spine was stiff enough, it could do that. Oh yeah, here's me in marching band, which I actually was in. Some of these are interesting because the face, like they make a face and it kind of sticks until a few seconds later, and then their face goes back to normal. Yeah, like he's like puckered up for a while. This guy's keeps puckered up, and the uniforms have my name on them, which is kind of cool, but it's spelled wrong. Uh, which it's not spelled wrong in the prompt, so why did you spell it wrong on the uniform? Yeah, he's like his lips like have to stay puckered for a while. That's not really how trumpets work, but and also why this trumpet looks really strange too. I think is the one I end up using, even though he still stays puckered. Um, he looks, he looks like he just took a poop or something. He like farted while he was playing. I've never known that before. Yeah, and he's still like he stayed puckered. I don't understand, but you don't need to do that. But I guess I don't know. It must be something weird in the model, but that's just something that kind of comes up in a lot of these videos. Is that the mouth kind of stays puckered for a while before it reverts to normal. Oh yeah, this is me as Steve Urkel. I mean, obviously. And the prompt is supposed to be that, I don't know, I hit a switch on the robot and the robot fails. Then the robot's supposed to be made of cardboard. I think I ended up using this one, but you can see too, like the eyes are just kind of like weird looking. It's hard seeing details in the eyes when they're that small. Yeah, he's supposed to say, "Did I do that?" I like the move that he does, actually. I like the stance he makes when the robot falls down. Because I think Steve Urkel does that too, actually. I think he stands like that. So this model must be trained on Steve Urkel. Because I think all I said was he's dressed like Steve Urkel. I didn't say, he's got suspenders and like an ugly looking sweater and a bow tie. I basically just said he looks like Steve Urkel. So yeah. Yeah, this one I'm supposed to flip a pancake and then it's supposed to land on my head. But like it's supposed to be accidental. Like he's not supposed to be like aiming it for his head. Like this one, it looks like he wanted it to go on his head. That's bad acting. Like you're supposed to like do it in a way that you weren't intending it to be in your head because then it's funny. I have to explain why it's funny to put a pancake on your head, but this was actually kind of funny because the one pancake turns into like 5 pancakes, and the face he makes at the end is really stupid. Which I think the one I chose, he makes a stupid face too. I mean, I think in the prompt it says like they're surprised by it, but it's like extremely delayed surprise, which kind of makes it funnier, to be honest. This is the one I ended up using. Like I think that's good. Like he didn't expect it to fall on his head, you know. Yeah, like that one he did not expect it to fall on his head. So this one he seemed like he did, and he's making that same stupid face. This one, he can't believe that it just floated onto his head without like any concept of physics. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean, you can't have an 80s show without someone talking on a corded phone. So, to make it more 80s, I made it so that I was wearing a blazer and I had the sleeves rolled up. Uh, these ones also have kind of like that 80s or just like a TV show lighting too. Like you see like these harsh shadows like right here um from this telephone and like behind the actor. Uh the actor. So like you can kind of tell like there's a really strong light, like a stage light on this person. So it just looks like it's like on a set from an 80s show. And this one, like, yeah, this one still has that same lighting too. Like you can see this shadow. And what's interesting is like the shadow actually matches the movement of this thing too. Um, which there's always something that surprises me about when these videos are generated that kind of thing can happen and it looks like pretty genuine, but then, something else will happen that just doesn't make any sense at all. Um, and I guess that's just how these models are because like some things are in the training data and then some things just aren't. So like I feel like the lighting is kind of a good example of just um, something that shows up and you can notice it. Um, and it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, duh. Like of course the lighting would be like that. Like this is another example too. Like look at how this person in front of the light moves and casts a shadow on this phone. But like when they move, it moves in such a way that's like kind of believable. And there's also like the shadow of the cord of the phone and even the shadow of like their hand. And it's due to that harsh lighting, but it's just really interesting that um, it can generate a video like this that is pretty convincing. Um, and somehow, yeah, somehow it looks convincing enough, yet some things are just like you might look at it later and then notice that something is completely off. But um, but it's surprising how much detail I guess, can be in these videos. I don't know how to describe it, but that's one of the more interesting things that I noticed. And like here too, like, you see two shadows, which I guess you wouldn't normally see it in like a normally um, lighted house or whatever, because when you're doing normal lighting, like you usually don't have a spotlight on someone from two directions. And, there's like a spotlight obviously coming from like this direction and then from this direction. So there's like these two shadows. And then this cord is still casting this really harsh shadow on the wall. Um, so I think that's just because I said like make it look like it's from a TV show. And I think it must be really trained on TV shows um, because even like the set design, it gets it really well. Like I was thinking that this set, like it looks like a TV set. Like it looks like this is like one of those fake, bushes from a TV set. Like it almost reminds me of like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air set or something. The way that it's set up. And then again with this one too, with the shadows, you can kind of just see like as he's moving away or moving in front, like it lets light hit the phone. Although the phone doesn't even have buttons for the numbers, which is kind of weird. So it doesn't really. None of these phones really look like actual phones. Well, I guess this one's got the old rotary dial, and this one doesn't even have enough buttons. So that's like that's like the thing is like it doesn't know what a payphone looks like or it doesn't know what a wall phone looks like, but it knows how all this lighting and stuff works. So it's just kind of interesting. And then this is supposed to be me sneezing into a popcorn bucket and then making all of the popcorn fly out, which I think happens in the step-by-step intro. But that was pretty good. But it's kind of weird how the popcorn just sticks on the face. I don't think that really happens in real life. And then this one, he just kind of like sticks his head directly into the popcorn bucket, which is not a good idea. I don't think that's anyone's first instinct when they're about to sneeze. This one looks a little bit more convincing. I think I used this one because, this is, yeah, like that's more convincing. It looks like he's like about to sneeze. Like his face looks like he's about to sneeze. So that one looks a little bit better. This one he has like a reverse sneeze and he just like inhaled the popcorn up out of the bucket. This one started like way too soon. And these ones are using that speed up LoRA too. So I think they ended up being a little bit more slow motion than the other ones. Stars is going to town on this popcorn bucket. Yeah, that's what he had like a double sneeze, and then he looks surprised at it for some reason. That one looks okay too. It's just like it's so slow motion that it's kind of distracting. Oh yeah, this revolving door. So the prompt for this one is supposed to be that I get stuck in a revolving door. And this is the one I ended up using, and I just think this one's really funny. Like the way that he gets stuck and then he slowly like turns his head. Like for some reason it's just like really funny to me. Um, and I don't think I really prompted it that way, but I thought it was just kind of interesting, like how something kind of original can happen. And I mean, I don't know, maybe there's like training data for this video model where like people do that. So like maybe there's a video where someone does this exact thing, but it just seems really interesting to me that like like it's actually pretty good physical comedy. Like he sticks his face in there and then he kind of pauses for a second and just like really slowly looks like, and he looks like kind of mad or just like shocked. But I don't know. I really like this one. Um, like he just comes to like this realization, and I just really like this one. The other ones, like this isn't really a revolving door. This is kind of funny too. And then That's when he just gets stuck in a normal door. Um, which is, I guess you could do that, but it's not that interesting. Yeah, this one has subtitles, but I actually don't read Chinese, so I don't know what that says. And I tried to put it into like AI to tell me what it says, but I don't think it actually says anything. I think it's just kind of gibberish. But I thought that was funny that gives me subtitles. I was gonna make a video of me smoking and then send it to my mom and then see what she said because I don't smoke. So I thought that it would make her mad, but um, these actually have some interesting detail. Like I think in the prompt I say that I smoke, um, no, I take a puff and then as I'm talking, like more smoke comes out of my mouth, which I think is how it works when you smoke. But I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. So this one actually ended up pretty good. And like, of course, like all the versions of me who smoke like are really cool because smoking is just makes you look really cool. Like you just look cooler when you smoke, but it's just too bad that it's like a thing for you. It's like bad for you, but because you look really cool smoking. You should start smoking because it just looks so cool. Yeah, like it's interesting too the way that the smoke kind of like goes out of the mouth. So they must have had some training on this too, like people smoking, because I don't think it could come up with this, without that sort of training set. It would like look as stupid as the cheerleaders trying to do a flip. So there's probably a lot of like old footage of people smoking. I don't know. Although I guess that cigarette is like kind of sticking to his finger. I didn't notice before. Oh yeah, I just made a lot of videos of myself eating spaghetti, because of the Will Smith eating spaghetti meme. But actually, all of these look pretty good. I mean, they're not very long or anything, but most of them I'm using a utensil, and it looks convincing enough. Sometimes I think like the forks turn into spoons, but for the most part, like it's not that bad. Yeah, like is that a fork or a spoon? Um, Maybe they knew that people would make videos of people eating spaghetti, so they had to make sure that they had a good spaghetti data set. This one, for some reason, I'm using my hands, which I don't do when I eat spaghetti. Um, yeah, these look pretty good. This one, my hair's like really short. Oh yeah, this is the one where I'm using chopsticks, which, uh, yeah, I mean, I don't use chopsticks to eat spaghetti. I guess my parents do, so I mean, I guess that's fair. And then there was another one where it was kind of weird. I'm trying to figure it out. Well, this one he doesn't actually eat it. He just kind of talks about it. These all look like, I'm doing a vlog or something and I have my phone out and it's like facing me and I'm just eating. Oh, this one has rice. This is spaghetti with a side of rice. Now, why do you think I would have a side of rice with my spaghetti? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's because I'm Chinese. I don't know. But it just seems a little bit that they didn't need to put that rice there. Oh, he's got like a little side bowl of spaghetti. There's me eating the meatball. Yeah, so spaghetti. Oh yeah, these Star Trek ones are actually pretty funny. I thought these were pretty good. Like he's really acting like Captain Kirk. He's got the Star Trek uh lapel thing. I like this one because he's really sitting like Captain Kirk. This one he's kind of like in a shuttle or something. This one seems like more of like a newer generation. This is like TNG. This is what I ended up using though, because he looks most captainly in this one, I thought. And I like the way that even like the way the picture looks and like the film grain and that kind of thing. Like it reminds me of an old sci-fi show. Like it's hard to kind of even explain why it looks that way, but to me it just looks more like an old TV, like an old Star Trek. Maybe because those were probably filmed on like actual film back in the day. Um, but yeah, it looks pretty legitimate to me. This isn't supposed to be me just like using a computer and then kind of turning and smiling and being like, "Hey, it's me." As my character intro. I thought these turned out pretty good. Oh, hi there. It's me, Hang. Oh, I'm just doing some spreadsheets. Hi. Even says hi. This is the one I end up using because uh I thought it was a little bit weird. Like he's a little bit stiff with his hands when he's turning. Like he's like got his hands in like the home row still as he's turning in the chair, which I thought was really funny. Like it's funny how these really subtle movements, like you can just kind of like notice them. Uh but yeah, for some reason I just thought he's acting a little weird. Like there's something weird about him. Like his head is not turned when he's turning. He's just like facing like straight forward as he's turning. He's not looking at the person. There's something weird about this guy, but I just thought it was interesting. And then yeah, I did one where I was supposed to be listening to a Walkman and I take the headphones off. So he's like pretending like he can't hear the conversation and he takes them off and he's like, "Oh yeah, like what's up?" this one, this one I like because it goes through his head. Which okay, I mean, I guess it's like it clips through his head, so it's like a video game. I think I ended up using this one, which I thought looked the best, even though he kind of like moves moves it twice. Although I mean, that could be kind of like a tick or something. That's just something the person does. But I thought this looked like more natural. I mean, the kid doesn't actually look that much like me. Maybe it's supposed. I think it's supposed to be like a teenager or something. So maybe it like de-aged me. but um, but I thought this one was the most interesting. I like the background too, because like the wallpaper like looks really 90s or 80s. So I thought this was pretty good. And then I tried to make one where I'm trying to walk, but it's really windy. that's why that's why it looks like Kim Jong Un or something. But like the eyes are too small, like even like see any detail. So that's why I didn't like this one. This one is okay. I like this one too, but it's not that obvious that it's windy. He just seems to be running really hard. And then the coat kind of like flies through his arms. This one's pretty good actually. He's like falling over and stuff. And like the wind is like really blowing his hair, so that's good. And this one is just like trying to hold on. I like this one. Yeah, and that one, this one, it just seems a little bit, I don't know. Like I think he's supposed to really be like fighting the wind and like leaning forward, but it doesn't seem like it understands maybe the physics of like wind. So it just makes it look like the guy's falling over or is just kind of unsteady. So whatever. But I think those are all of the clips basically. So now I'm gonna go back to the next part, which I think is explaining something. I don't know. I'll talk about it myself later. So I should also mention that I use AI to generate the song that was used in the video. And originally I thought I was gonna actually write a song and perform it myself. But then I figured that it would take way too long for me to actually do that. And, I only play the trumpet anyway and sing, so that wouldn't be very much of a song. And I figured it was probably appropriate for me to use AI to make the song for a video that was already completely generated by AI. So the context kind of made sense in this case. So I ended up using Suno, and I ended up paying for the pro version of it for a month so that I could retain the rights and copyright or whatever it is, so that I could actually use the song on YouTube. So there isn't that much more for me to say about Suno aside from the fact that I did write the lyrics myself. But then I just basically threw it into Suno and added a bunch of 80s sounding prompts to it. And it ended up spitting out a somewhat decent song after a while. But I did burn through a lot of the credits. And it just seemed really hard to be able to direct it to actually do what I wanted it to. But if you're interested in hearing more about how I actually, made the song using Suno, then let me know in the comments and I could probably talk a little bit more about that. So you might be interested in hearing what a person who likes making videos thinks of using AI to make videos. Well, I don't think that AI is going to replace humans anytime soon in the creation of quality content. I think that AI is a tool, and like any other tool, it can be used to augment human creativity, but it's never going to be a replacement for actual creativity and, more importantly, good taste. I think that you'll see a lot of AI slop, and AI slop is not the fault of AI, whether that's in text form or image form or video form. It's not because AI did a bad job of doing those things, but it's because a human took a look at it and said, this is good enough. But AI slop aside, I will admit that I had a lot of fun experimenting with this video AI generator, trying different things in the prompts and seeing what kinds of outputs I could get out of it. And, for some of the outputs, I was actually pleasantly surprised and impressed by the way that my AI version of myself showed emotion or did really funny things that I just really didn't expect at all. But I do want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments. Do you think that these video generators are the wave of the entertainment future? Or do you think that they're just another way of perpetuating the AI slop that we see pretty much everywhere these days? Let me know in the comments. Well, I think that does it for today's video. So until next time, happy AI slopping.